My name is Karl Brown. I'm a commercial property partner at national law firm Clarke Willmott, and I'm really excited to be part of this series and to discuss the importance of diversity and inclusion in the property sector, and in particular my initiative in that context called the Bristol Property Inclusion Charter. I tend to specialise in acting for clients in buying and selling residential development land. And in particular, I tend to act for quite a few PLC house builders. So the likes of Vistry, Barratt's, and also David Wilson Homes and Crest are some of the clients that I tend to act for. I've been fortunate to be involved in a whole range of large residential development projects. And they've tended to be around the Somerset and Devon region. One of the big recent projects that I was involved with for quite a few years was a large residential development in Exeter, next to the Exeter Science Park, which was opened a few years ago. And that was really interesting because it involved almost a collaboration or partnership between Devon County Council and the local landowner client who I was acting for. And the Devon County Council actually provided the main infrastructure for that particular development, which then unlocked being able to sell parcels to various developers. I'd say the biggest challenge was actually getting into the legal profession, because I'd considered going into the legal profession from quite a young age. My parents weren't from professional backgrounds. They were immigrants from Jamaica, and they were part of the Windrush generation. They came here in the early 1960s. And then I studied at school, and then I did a law degree, and then I did my one-year legal practice course, but I just found it incredibly difficult to break into the legal profession. And I ended up making over 100 applications to get that magical position as a trainee solicitor. And one of the things that definitely helped me was mentoring. And there's also an incident that I'll never forget, when I was sat in my barber's chair on Stapleton Road in eastern Bristol, and I was almost offloading how difficult it was to break into a profession. And my barber turned round to me and he said, "Karl, I know a local partner who's also of Jamaican heritage, and I think it would be great to introduce the both of you to each other because I think that he would act as a great mentor." And he was absolutely right. And through his mentoring, I actually managed to break into the legal profession and get that medical training contract. And then fast forward, when I was qualified into the legal profession, and particularly when I joined Clarke Willmott, one of the things was just trying to work out how was the best way of progressing up through the legal profession. And again, it was mentoring that helped me, because I was paired with an older consultant at Clarke Willmott who had actually been a former senior lawyer in a city law firm in London. And he was fantastic, and he really guided me as to the types of things I should be doing if I was looking to progress through the legal profession. I'm extremely passionate about trying to boost social mobility and to give back. I mean, one of the things that I actually said to myself, and it was almost a vow when I did actually get that trainee position as a solicitor, was that I wasn't just going to sit in my position, try and do well for myself and then forget about everyone else. I was absolutely determined to give back. And so I've had various positions where I've been going into schools, giving careers talks, speaking to students, emailing with students as well, just trying to raise their aspirations, and also just really trying to show them that even if you haven't got any links with professions such as law or industries such as the property industry, you can actually make it if you've got the right talent and you've got the right work ethic, and it is possible. I mean, there's this phrase that they often use, which is, you cannot be what you cannot see. And so for me, that's a big challenge, particularly for students from underrepresented backgrounds, that even if they cannot see someone like themselves in the property industry or in a profession such as law, they should actually be able to visualise a roadmap or routeway into that type of industry. In Bristol city centre, when I was growing up, had quite a tired image, and it wasn't really as thriving as it should be for a major city of over 500,000 people. And I think one of the things that I'm really pleased to see as a born and bred Bristolian is that through these building projects, Bristol city centre now has become a really thriving place, and a lot of what were tired old buildings, they've been taken down and replaced. And so I have had involvement with some of those projects, and yeah, I'm really pleased with my involvement in trying to regenerate Bristol. There is a slight irony, which I think I will mention, which is that although I am based in Bristol and work in Bristol, a lot of my projects tend to be more in some of the surrounding areas of Bristol, so Somerset, Swindon, Gloucestershire, Devon. And I think that's really because in terms of residential development, those areas just have more space and more scope for larger developers to carry out their large developments. But yeah, to your question, I am really proud to be a Bristolian, and I think that's one of the things that really helps me want to give back to the city, and particularly the students in the city. And that's probably one of the factors which led me to found one of my major initiatives, which was the Bristol Property Inclusion Charter back in 2019.